Hello and welcome. You are now looking at a site built with Turbo Site Builder, and you're looking at a lawyer-based site, but your site can be about just about anything that you want. Now you'll notice that as I scroll down, there's a testimonial section and a map and social media and footer. We're going to be showing you how to build your own site with lots of customization and the ability to create a great looking site very quickly. Now to get started, you should have already installed your site using the installation video, and we're going to start by moving left to right at the top menu. So we'll start first with the home menu, then the features, then testimonials, the pricing, contact, footer, and then mics. What we'll do is we'll move from the top to the bottom and explain everything to you in detail so that you can use these things in order to start creating your own one-page site. Now you're looking at the home menu, and the first thing that you'll see at the top is that you'll see an area for you to write in your page title, and this is where you can actually dictate some of the SEO that's going to go on with your site. You want to make sure that your title is appropriate for your brand as well as for SEO. The other thing that you're going to want to do is to write in your meta description. Now, this meta description will also help you to rank in search depending on what you're trying to rank for, whether it's in your local area or whether it's internationally. Now the next thing that you'll see is you'll see a customization button. And you see a customization button that says Show Slider. Now the slider will actually be the one thing that changed the photos when we looked at the lawyer site. And when we add the photos, you'll actually see how this is going to appear on your site. You've got the ability to either leave that out or to put it in. You've also got the ability to change the timing on the sliders if you choose to leave it in. Now the next thing down that you'll see here at the very right hand side, where you'll see it says features, testimonials, pricing, contact. And you'll see on the right hand side that there's a box there. That box there allows you to either leave the navigation in when you click it or to take the navigation out. When the navigation shows or when the box shows an X, that means the navigation is not going to show. When the navigation shows a check mark when you've clicked it, it actually is going to be left in. Now whenever you make a change on any page, in particular this one, you'll see a green button at the top right. You always want to click the Save Changes button after everything that you do to lock in everything that you have started while you're actually on the page. Now if you scroll down on this page, you'll see the beginning of the slides. And at the top, the slides, you'll see that there are three buttons there. The first button is a check mark. That check mark allows you to either allow that one slide to be visible or to allow it to be invisible. So if you check the box and you see an X there, that means that this slide will not show even though the slides in the slider will show. The rest of the slides will show. When you check the box and you see a check mark, that means that this slide will show. Then you'll see there that you have the ability to change a background image. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to click that background image, and then you'll need to grab a photo from your hard drive. And when you do that, you are going to actually see that there's a button there at the top that says Change Background Image. It's asking for something that is larger than 1600 pixels by 900 pixels. You'll need to click the Change Background Image and then grab an image from your hard drive. So let's go ahead and do that now. Once you see that the page has been, or the image has been brought in, you'll see what it looks like, and you'll see a button on the right hand side that will allow you to change the filter visibility. And in this case, we're going to go ahead and check that box so that there is no filter on the image. Now if you go down a little bit, you'll see there that there is some writing. The writing there that says Slide 1 Header is actually text that you can change. And all you have to do is double click right on top of that text in order to write in there what you want to have in there. So in this particular case, we're going to put some verbiage in there. Once you've completed, you'll double click the same area and then the edit box will go away, and you'll also see that there's a subheader there. If you double click that subheader area, and then you can add in text there also. When you're complete with writing in your text, you'll double click the area, the edit screen will go away, and then you're going to see a button link there, and you are going to have some customization options there. The first one you'll see is a checkbox. Now that checkbox means that you can make it so that the button will not appear. When you see an X there, that means the button is not going to appear. When you see the check mark there, that means that the button is going to appear. You can also customize the button itself. If you double click the button, you'll see there that you can actually change the link as well as changing the text. Now in this particular case, for the sake of example, we're going to leave that button out. So you're going to see that there's an X there. That means that the button will not show. Now once we've made all the changes, we want to scroll up to the very top, and you'll see that button at the very top right that says Save Changes. You want to click that button. That will lock in the changes that you've made. Now, we've now made changes to one slide. So now what we need to do is, if we want more slides to show on our website, we can actually make changes by clicking the button all the way over to the right. Looks like a little arrow, and it'll move us to that second area that says Slide 2. And we're going to recognize all the same things there, where we can add a photo. So we're going to go off camera, and we're going to add photos and make all of the slides just like we did slide 1. Okay, so we have added images in all areas. But when we come back to slide number 3, we can only make this look appropriate when we use a filter. And so because it's not going to look like the others, we're actually going to leave that slide out of the presentation. So we're going to click that X, and this slide will not appear in our area. We are going to also change the autoplay sliders. We're going to actually time them so that they have 10 seconds in between. And we are going to show the slider, so we're going to leave that box checked. So now that we've made all of these changes, we're also going to put our page title and meta description in, and then we're going to click Save Changes. Okay, now that everything is the way we want it, we're going to click Save Changes. And we're now ready to move on to the Features area, which is the next area to the left of the home area. And it's the next menu that we're going to go to. So let's go to the Features area. When you get to the Features area, you're going to notice at the very top that there is customization that will allow us to either enable the page or to disable the page. When we uncheck the box, the page is disabled and it will not show. When the box is checked, the page is enabled and it will show. Now we've also got the option here to show our icons in 2 columns. When the box is checked, the icons will show in 2 columns. When the box is not checked, they'll actually show in 1 column. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're actually going to show the icons in 2 columns. Now the other customization that you'll notice, if you scroll down and you take a look at all of the icons, you're going to notice check marks to the left of all of them. Now if we don't want those icons to show, we can actually click that box, and what's going to happen is you're going to see an X there. That means that those icons and descriptions will not show. We're going to go ahead and take off the bottom 6. You're going to see X's there instead of check marks. That means that none of those icons or descriptions are going to show. Now that leaves us with the top 4 to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to write descriptions for the first 3, and then for the last one, not only are we going to write a description, but we're also going to change the icon. And I'm going to show you how to do that once we've done our writing of the description. Now that we've done all of the writing in that we want, we're going to just get rid of the editing screens by double clicking. Every place where we double click, we can edit or take away the editing field. And now what we want to do is we want to take that computer or the laptop looking icon and we want to change it. So in order to do that, all we need to do is to click once on that icon, and then we'll see that we're going to have a host of icons we can actually choose from. And so in this particular case, we're going to choose an icon of a camera. And now the icons are the way we want them. So we're going to actually click the Save Changes button. And so once the changes are saved, we can now move on to the next item in our menu, and that's the testimonials area. When we get to the testimonial area, you're going to notice at the very top of the page that you can either enable the page or you can disable the page. When the button is checked, that means that the page is enabled. When the box is empty, that means that the page is disabled. Now in this particular case, we're going to disable this page. However, we are going to fill in the elements just in case we want to use it again. So I'm going to click the Save Changes button. And one of the things that you'll notice at the bottom is that you'll notice that there are 5 dots. And you'll notice that there are slides changing. That means that the testimonial area works just like the slides. It means that we can actually put 5 different testimonials in there and they will oscillate by themselves. Now in this particular case, one of the customizations that we can do, you'll see the check mark at the top. That means that we can leave some testimonials in and we can take some testimonials out. What we can do is we can check the box at the very top over the box that says comment. We check that box and you see an X. That means that that testimonial will not show amongst all of the others. When that box is checked, that means that that testimonial will show amongst all of the others. Now when we get ready to change the writing where it says comment, all we have to do is as we did on the other pages, we double click the comment button. And then we write in our verbiage. Okay, when we're done with our writing, we can double click the area and then the testimonial is written. Now we have a couple of options when we write this testimonial. What we can do is we can actually make this a testimonial by making sure that the 2 boxes are actually ticked. So when we use our mouse and we click over the 2 gray boxes, you'll notice that the customer box is checked, the customer link is checked. That means that the customer link and the customer box will show, as well as the image. Now when we uncheck that box, whether it is the customer box or the customer link box, the customer and the customer image will not show, nor will the customer link show. That means then that when this area is not showing, we can actually use this custom testimonial area as a custom content area. So you don't have to write testimonials in there. You can actually write in there other content that you may want to have on your site. Now in this particular case, we opted to make sure that these boxes have X's in them. So that means then that if we do tend to show them, what's going to happen is this is going to be a content area. It doesn't have to be a testimonial area. So now that we've made changes, we're going to click Save Changes. And there is one more area that we need to talk about, and that is the area where we can actually change the background image. And we can change that background image by clicking the gray box at the very bottom underneath the area that has the 5 dots. When we click that area, we are going to actually get the opportunity to change the background image, and we're going to be able to change it based on the same sizing mechanism that we've been using. So all we've got to do is click Change Background Image, and we can add in our photo. Now we can choose just not to show this one if we don't like the way it looks, and in this case we're going to disable this area anyway. Okay, we probably wouldn't use that the way it looks, but in this particular case we're not going to use this image and we're not going to use this area. But you do have the option to do so. Okay, we're going to click Save Changes, and if we decided that, let's say that we wanted to change it and we didn't want to use that image, well, then we leave those changes unsaved. So in this particular case, we're just going to move on to the pricing area, because if we ever come back, we're probably not going to want that image. So now we're going to go to the right of the testimonials from the top, and we're going to go to the pricing menu. When we get to the pricing menu, we'll see some things that are familiar. One of the first things we'll see is that we can enable or disable the page. Now we are going to enable this page, and so the next area that you're going to see down is you're going to be able to customize the writing over the chart. And so once again, by double clicking that area, we're going to be able to write in there what we want. We're going to double click again and then click Save Changes. Then we're going to do the same for our subheader. When we've written there, we're going to make sure our text appears the way we want. Now the next level of customization that you'll see here is you'll see these three check boxes. That means then that we can leave out one of the columns if we want to. And so in this particular case, we're going to leave out the one in the middle. Now we still do have some customization inside of each area. We can actually double click on the text, and in this case we can write a plan name. And just like any other one that we're going to do, we can double click the numbers and the plan period. One of the other areas of customization that we have is we can actually double click to write in some of the features. And then that is our plan. And so remember that this column is not going to show at all, and then we can always come back and customize this area. Now we need to scroll down so we can look at some additional customization here. You'll notice that if I double click this area, that we're going to have some other customization that we can do. We can actually change this button link and the link where it goes, or we can add custom HTML in case we have another button. So if you have a buy button from PayPal or JVZoo or from Warrior Plus, we can actually put that HTML in there and have our buttons on this page. Now the other area of customization that we have is that we can actually change our colors, and we just click Custom Colors, and we can customize these areas. We're going to click Close and Return, and we're going to click Save Changes. Now that we've edited everything that we can in the pricing screen, we're now going to move over to the contact screen. Now right off the bat, you're in familiar territory because you can either enable or disable this page. And in this case, maybe we're not an online business or an offline business, so we would disable that page and click Save Changes. But we do still want to look at the features and customizations that we can make. Of course, we can put our phone number in here, our email, and our address. Now once we've got our writing in there, we can lock it in by double clicking those areas, and then we can actually then change this and save our changes. Now what we're going to do is you're going to see some additional customization right below that, and the actual map that appears on the local area. We can actually either enable that map or disable that map. If we choose to enable the map, we're going to have to get our longitude and latitude coordinates from Google Maps by marking our exact location, getting the longitude and latitude numbers from Google Maps, and then putting them here inside of our longitude and latitude area. Now we still have some additional area of customization. We can actually go to change the message in our send button. And we can actually choose to disable our contact form altogether, even if we enable the page. So in some cases, we might choose to disable that form and save the changes, or we can choose to keep our form. Okay, now we've chosen to disable this page. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move one step over to the right from the contact menu to the footer menu. So let's do that now. Now when we get to the footer menu, we obviously have the ability to enable or disable the page. We also have the ability to add in text or custom HTML in this area. So we've got some additional area of customization where we can put a banner, some additional writing, a call to action, maybe even some place for us to put an affiliate offer. We can go one step below that, and we actually have the ability to change these icons. In this particular case, we can actually put in our custom Facebook page. We can put in our custom Twitter page. Or we can put in our custom Google Plus page. When we've completed this, all we need to do is to click Save Changes. Now when we're done with the editing process, we can now move to the mics area, and that's where we're going to go right now. In the mics area, you're going to notice that you've got the ability to change the theme and its color. We're going to save changes, as well as the ability to change your email, login, or password. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our site to see how it looks. And as you can see, we have a great looking site with not having done a lot of work. And of course, we can act on all of the additional customization that we really need to in order to make the site exactly the way we want it to be, in order to attract customers, or in order to accomplish our goals. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.